Am I the a-hole because I don't make an effort to co-parent with my child's father? I have a son who will be 2 in July, and I don't put forth a lot of effort for my son to see his father. Background. His father did not want to sign and did not sign the birth certificate. He did not want him to have his last name and doesn't. He didn't come to the hospital when he was born because he thought he would automatically be put on child support. I will FaceTime a few times out of the week, but he doesn't always answer. If he calls back, it's too late or the next day. And if we meet up, there's always strings attached. Like, can you take me to the corner store? Or can you drop me off of my friend's house? Last time we met up and had a falling out, so I set my boundaries and told him I couldn't take him anywhere. See and spend time with your son, and that's it. Over the year and 9 months, he has only brought his son a $70 pair of Jordans, 1 big box of Pampers and wipes. He complains that him not seeing his son is my fault. His son crying when he sees him is also my fault. He doesn't have a car, but he get around everywhere else. Why can't he come visit his son? If I don't call or take the incentive, it won't happen. And I'm okay with that. My son is not without proper male father figures or role models in his life. So, am I the a-hole for not making an effort to co-parent?
Not the a-hole. That's not what co-parenting is. You are making all the effort and he is giving nothing. Drop the rope. If he wants to see his kid, he will. You are not responsible for making his life easier, nor doing extra stuff for him. He doesn't even care enough to make visitation happen. Think about that. You already have 1 child. You don't need 2. This is dismal. Why aren't you getting child support?
With him not being on the birth certificate, I would have to file for a paternity test to put him on child support. Also, he never keeps a job. At this point, I don't know if I'm helping him or hurting myself. Is it worth the hassle and stress?
He is trying to make you responsible for him being a piss-poor father. Do you want him cruising in and out of your son's life and blaming you for his problems? He is a terrible role model already. I can't answer your question about whether it's worth it to get child support from him. Only you can decide that. Do you want him taking your child if he is a bad influence and role model? Just be careful about how you handle things, especially with his parents. Grandparents' rights are a thing in some states.
You have made an effort to co-parent. Your ex is the one who isn't making an effort. He can't even be bothered to make sure he's available for FaceTime calls. I do that for my cousin's kid. I literally can't imagine not doing that for my own. Not the a-hole. Anyone giving you a hard time should be told, how kind of you to want to give X a ride so he can visit more easily. I hope you and he can come up with a mutually agreeable schedule so he can see his child more regularly.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if he didn't sign the birth certificate, doesn't that mean that he isn't even legally the child's father?
Yes, legally, he would not be considered his father.
Not the a-hole. He has barely made any effort in maintaining a relationship with his child. Hell, he didn't even bother to be in the hospital the day your son was born. If he wants to be a part of that child's life, he has to grow up.
This man has refused to sign the birth certificate, won't pay child support, won't do anything or provide anything to support you and your son, and he won't even do the bare minimum to visit. He wants more time. Fine. He can go through the courts to arrange custody. He won't, because then he'd have to pay child support. Don't teach your son that this is acceptable behavior. Stop putting in all the effort. Your child is better off without this man in his life. Not the a-hole.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to retire or move teaching spots and telling my daughter-in-law to suck it up? I am a teacher at a private school. The public schools in the surrounding areas are crap. I have been working there for 13 years and I should retire soon, probably in 5 years. I have a few grandkids, but this is about Ryan and her mother Jenny. Jenny and I do not get along. We avoid each other at family events and just try to be civil. I find her to be extremely entitled and I am sure she has plenty to say about me. I teach kindergarten, and since the private school is small, we have a single class. You have to apply for the school. The school plans to expand, but right now it is small, so I teach all of them. Jenny informed me that they applied, and Ryan is supposed to start next fall. He will be in my class. and Jenny wasn't okay with that. She asked me to move positions or to retire. I told her no, and this started an argument. She doesn't want me to teach Ryan, and I told her to suck it up or not go to the school. She called me a jerk, and my son wishes for me to apologize.
Not the a-hole. She applied to the school knowing there was one class and that you were the teacher. Now she's trying to manipulate you into doing what she wants, regardless of what you want. That's a hell no from me. She can either withdraw the application and send Ryan elsewhere, or she can put on her big girl panties and accept that you'll be Ryan's teacher. Tell her, suck it up, Buttercup. She can like it or lump it. What is it exactly that your son wants you to apologize for? Being the teacher of the only class, or for not retiring, or for his SO calling you a jerk? Because it doesn't sound like you did anything wrong here. Provided you are a truthful narrator here, and you didn't start a slanging match with her, you're not in the wrong.
Why does she not want you to teach her child? Edit it for judgment? Not the a-hole. She can't dictate to people. She sounds like Major Nutcase.
She didn't give me a reason, just kept saying that I can't. I know it's not my teaching abilities.
I would let your superiors know. I see her complaining and making false stories.
Not the a-hole, Lowell. Unless the men in black rolled past and did the light trick on her, she knew it was your school. She can suck it up and he can go, or she can suck it up and pick another school. Huh. I wonder why you don't love her company. She sounds like a true delight, like finding half a caterpillar in your salad.
Not the a-hole. What the fuck?
Am I the a-hole for telling my sister nobody needs to give her anything for Mother's Day? My 27 female sister, 25 female, had a miscarriage 6 or 7 months ago. It was very early. She had a positive pregnancy test, but then a couple days later tested negative and had her period. My husband, 29 male, and I just had our first baby, who is now 3 weeks old. For Mother's Day, we all went to my parents' house to celebrate. My sister and I both brought our mom gifts, and my mom also got me flowers and chocolate to celebrate my first Mother's Day. I think it's also worth noting that I had an ectopic pregnancy that ended up rupturing 3 years ago, and we've been trying to have a baby ever since. I lost a fallopian tube and basically nearly died. I've had 2 other miscarriages since then as well. This was a very special first true Mother's Day. I was in the hospital recovering from the surgery for my ectopic pregnancy over Mother's Day 3 years ago, and my family brought me flowers and balloons to help me feel better about going through something so traumatic, so close to Mother's Day. I think this is why my sister may have felt the way she did. My mom didn't get my sister anything for Mother's Day. As a result, my sister ended up throwing a fit and was yelling at us, calling us names. And I ended up yelling back that nobody owed her a Mother's Day gift because she's not a mother yet. My parents were understanding, but said I should have been less harsh. Am I the a-hole?
Chemical pregnancy. It's possible to have a positive pregnancy test even if you aren't technically pregnant. This is called a false positive. It's sometimes caused by a chemical pregnancy. She didn't have a miscarriage. She had a false positive. You are a little harsh, but it was kind of deserved for the way she freaked. It looked to me out. Did anyone ever get you a Mother's Day gift for your miscarriages? That just sounds cruel to me. She needs to calm down and keep trying for a baby if she wants one that badly. But she has a child. She is a mother. Not the a-hole.
You got flowers and balloons because you were in the hospital after almost dying. The gifts were not because you were now a mother after an ectopic pregnancy. Your sister is not a mother. She had hopes to be one, and it's sad that she had a chemical pregnancy, but ultimately she is not a mother. I suppose you or the family could have gently asked how she was doing on Mother's Day, since it was a sensitive day for her. But that may have also set her off, who knows. Ultimately not the a-hole.
I saw a pink line on a stick. Then my life went on as normal, and there was no baby. I deserve to be celebrated. Not the a-hole. She put a damper on a very special day for you that you have been trying to get to for years. Congrats on your baby.
I think it's kind of unfair to say, life went on as normal. If she really wants a baby and was very excited, it can still be a huge blow and very emotionally painful. That doesn't mean she should be celebrated on Mother's Day, but it gets frustrating when people write off early-term miscarriages and assume that the person shouldn't have any feelings about it because it didn't last long.
Shaking my head at all the people saying it wasn't a pregnancy loss. Except in very rare cases, a test that turns positive is a pregnancy. An early loss, often called a chemical pregnancy, sure, but still a pregnancy. Pregnancy tests work from a hormone that is only present during a pregnancy, and when certain very rare tumors occur. How to market is another conversation, but let's not spread misinformation, please.
Everyone sucks here. People are feeling hurt and vulnerable and lashed out. You can't control your sister's fit, but you can control your own reaction. Her miscarriage wasn't as bad as yours, but clearly she was hurting and sensitive. It was an opportunity to comfort.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos.